Coach Paul Offor, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Game On. It's your second time on the show. The first time that we spoke, you were still in charge of Sporting Lagos. There was still plenty of hope that the team's results would improve. But let me start this way. There's a popular adage in football that every single coach is either has been hired or has been waiting to be fired. Did your dismissal come to you as a surprise?
Yeah, so thank you for having me. Yeah, my dismissal wasn't a surprise to me. I would say I kind of had an idea that it was going to happen, and I tried as much as possible to give my best to the team and make sure that we win that last match against Sunshine Stars.
Well, still talking about your time at the, in charge of Sporting Lagos, how would you describe, the adventure of, participating in Nigeria's premier sporting football division?
It was great. It was a great journey for me, for my career, and also for the team, because I think we gave life to Sporting Lagos, to the dream and the project the way Shola wanted it. There was no way Sporting Lagos will be what it is today if Sporting Lagos will stay in the NNL. So being able to bring that team to NPFL, give it life, give the project life, and I'm very happy about that. I'm very proud of my time with Sporting Lagos and everything we achieved together.
Well, looking back now on your time at Sporting Lagos, with the benefit of hindsight, do you feel that maybe there was something that you could have done better to probably improve results with the team?
Definitely. You see, football is not magic. Football is a process, and as a team, we have to establish our processes. As a coach too, I also have to establish my own processes and my philosophy. I think for a team that is 2 years old, that just gained promotion, being 11th on the log, I think we're doing pretty well, even though I know that the owner of the team is quite ambitious and wanted more. But it's never possible for you as a coach or as a team to get all your first season transfer targets right. There must be success and failures along the line, and you learn from it and try to improve it subsequently. That is why every coach needs time for them to be able to establish their philosophy and also to be able to build a very strong team. And unfortunately, that's one thing I didn't get in Sporting Lagos.
Okay.
Coach, good evening. My question is, you are a privately owned club, and you are surrounded by, I think, Sporting Lagos, Doma United, Remo Stars are the 3 privately owned clubs in the NPFL. And I have this feeling that somehow, because of a lot of things that go on behind the scene, that some that we cannot say here because of the image of Nigerian football. Do you think that privately owned clubs are operating from a disadvantaged position? Because I see that you lost almost all your away games.
No, I don't think. Kudos to the league management. Kudos to the referees. I think this season the officiating have been fair. The games have been open away. We don't expect it to be 100%. This is the first season for the league board, and I expect to see better, improved officiating going forward. So I don't think the private-owned teams are operating at a disadvantaged position, because if you look at what Remo Stars is doing, you see Remo Stars is doing very well. They are picking points away. You see Doma in the first half of the season also, they did very well. Unfortunately, they are not doing so well in the second round. So I think it's all about process, and it's all about building your team also, and establishing your basic principles and trying as much as possible to get the best leg in the league into your team, because without good talent, it's impossible for you to win. You need to first of all make sure you get your recruitment right, then you start imparting them for them to be able to function as a team.
All right then, Coach Paul, for me, earlier on in the season when we spoke, I did tell you how much I love the way your team plays football. Your ideology was clearly seen through the pitch. I love the 3 at the back formation. You made it so flexible for your players that, sometimes you even have your center backs, roaming forward and whatnot. But do you think that your style of play was only suited for you on the artificial turf at the Mobolaji Arena, and it was difficult to play that same style of football whenever you went on away games? And secondly, would you say that the way you like to play football, would that always be a determining factor whenever you want to get jobs with other clubs?
The field aspects, I don't think there are so many teams away with bad pitch apart from Heartland, Abia Warriors, and I think Niger Tornadoes. Every other field we played on was better, and we were able to pull out a draw, even though it wasn't the way we wanted to play football against Abia Warriors. We were able to pull off a draw there. So I wouldn't say the field. I would say generally it's difficult to deal with second ball, and it's difficult to deal with the transition. I had a study of my first half of the season, and I found out that most times in as much as we try to play to start the build-up from the back, from the goalkeeper, we also most times launch a lot of long balls, which was playing directly into how our opponent wanted us to play. And we pressed so high sometimes in the first round of the game, of the season, which also encouraged the opponents to play a lot of long balls. So that's something we try to correct in the second half by most times leaving the final third of the field to the opponent. That's their defensive half, allowing them to make that 1-2 passes and bring the ball into the midfield. That gives us the opportunity to win the ball in the midfield while they are out of position, and also have them be organized more, because we discovered that we struggle a lot when we play against unorganized teams. So we try in the second round to help our opponents to be more organized by allowing them the first 2 passes from the goalkeeper instead of pressing them high and helping them play those long balls, which we're not good at. So we tried as much as possible to reduce those things. That's majorly what affected us in the first round, and we had to make that tweak in the second half, and we were able to get some decent results.
Well, Coach Paul, I need to ask this question because there's been a lot of talk and unconfirmed reports making the rounds that, one of the reasons, probably the major reason why you were relieved of your job was that there was talk that you lost the dressing room. There was a breakdown in, your relationship with your players and even with the management of the club led by, of course, our good friend Gordon Enahena. Can you confirm or deny this?
Lost the dressing room. I'm not sure I lost the dressing room. If I thought anything like that happened, I think it happened in the first round, and we had a meeting and we were able to resolve, because I am one person that I don't settle for less, and when results are not good, I try to push hard, and a lot of players were not really comfortable with the way I pushed hard. So they opened up to me and we had to resolve that. And in the second round, we had good moments and we were doing well. And even before we played Sunshine, the owner of the team, Mr. Shola, called me to let me know that it's important that we win that match and I should do everything possible to ensure that we win the match, of which we did. So the major issue we had was in the away matches. Mr. Shola made it very clear, the club made it very clear too, that winning home and losing away is not acceptable, and we need to find a quick fix to our away forms. And we couldn't do that, so I believe that's also one of the reasons why he made the decision to let me go, so that they can get another manager that can improve their away forms.
But do you feel hard done by? Do you feel some way bitter about being let go when you did? Because, I mean, you were in no danger of relegation. You were comfortably mid-table for a newly promoted club. Ordinarily, that would seem like, a fair first campaign. Do you feel bitter about how this panned out?
Not at all. I have nothing against Sporting Lagos. I honestly don't feel bitter, because I feel honestly that I gave my best to Sporting Lagos, and also they gave their best to me too. So it was a good relationship between us, a relationship I love and I cherish so much, and I want to keep going forward. And I look at the bright side of it and look at the beautiful opportunities coming to me, and get ready for it.
Well, finally, before we let you go, Coach Paul, what next for you? I mean, you still remain one of Nigeria's finest, brightest, youngest coaches. Of course, there will be clubs who are looking in your direction, probably ahead of the new season. Most likely, I believe you'll probably be fielding a few offers now. But I'm not sure if it's possible for you to mention a few names, but if you could mention a few names, which clubs would you like to work with in the NPFL that you really admire and you think that you'd actually probably have a seamless working relationship with?
Unfortunately, I can't mention names, but I believe there are a lot of good clubs in the NPFL and well-structured clubs in NPFL. Like I said, I can't mention names, but I believe that very soon you'll get the news about my future.
But before we let you go, sorry, I know I want to let you go, but what do you think of your new Super Eagles coach, George Finidi, the man you played against, who was manager of Eyimba? What do you think of his appointment as Super Eagles manager?
A brilliant appointment. A coach that played for the Super Eagles, that made this country proud, and he humbled himself to come to the NPFL to coach in the NPFL, and also became a champion of the NPFL. I think he deserved that position as the Super Eagles coach. And I am also very, very happy for the Nigerian players in the NPFL, because I know that he's going to give a lot of opportunities to them. He's been there for like 2 seasons with them. He knows a lot of players in the NPFL, and I'm very happy about his appointment, because I know it's a beginning of new things for our local players.
We've been speaking with Coach Paul Offor, former coach of Sporting Lagos of Nigeria. Thank you so much for your time. We hope to see you very soon in a stadium close to us, hopefully. And maybe, who knows, you might even get a national team appointment. Thank you so much for your time, Coach Paul.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay.